Mortgage borrowers beware. Some lenders are on a conquest to take your money. Now, let me be explicitly clear about what the problem is here. At a frightening increase in frequency, I'm seeing lenders charge points. These are big time fees associated with closing costs on both purchase and refinance loans. And the sales pitch, the snake oil goes something like this. We'll get you a 2.5% or 2.75% interest rate, well below the market rate. And all you need to do is pay 2 or 3 points, that's a percent of your loan amount, in additional closing costs in order to get this rate. Now, folks, a point is generally known as 1% of your loan amount. So if you have a $400,000 loan and you're paying 3 points, that's $12,000 in points or fees added on to your loan amount, subtracted from your equity to buy down the rate. Now, why is this intergalactically silly right now? Well, team, let me show you a couple of charts. In this chart, you're going to see the history of 30-year fixed mortgage rates going back to the 70s. You can see they peaked in 1980, and the trend since then has been down. The trend in interest rates is lower. There's a saying on Wall Street that says, don't fight the trend. And clearly the trend in mortgage rates is lower. So why would we pay a bunch of points today to get a lower interest rate when tomorrow interest rates are likely going to be lower and you don't have to pay points? Let me tell you a little bit about why these interest rates are going down so quickly. The next chart is the amount of mortgage-backed securities, these are mortgage bonds, that has been purchased by the Federal Reserve. If you look to the far right in 2020, you're gonna see a steep rise in the number of mortgage-backed securities owned by the Fed. Why? Because the Fed is trying to stimulate the economy by forcing interest rates to go lower by buying mortgage-backed securities. Now, let me show you a chart of the 10-year US Treasury. The Treasury and mortgage rates are not directly correlated in lockstep, but there is a correlation between these two bonds. And you'll see that the trajectory for the 10-year Treasury is also lower. It is definitely going down. The trend in mortgage rates, down. The trend in treasuries, down. Now let's take a look at the amount of Fed buying going on in treasuries. Look what happened in 2020 in the amount of treasuries being purchased by the Fed. And folks, when you look across the left axis and you see 4 million, keep in mind, that's 4 million. We're talking trillions of dollars. So let me pose this question to you. If the Federal Reserve is spending trillions of dollars to buy down interest rates, why in the world would you pay points to also buy down your interest rate? Because mortgage rates aren't headed up, they're headed lower. So if it makes sense to refinance for you, what you want to do is be patient. You want to pick the rate that makes sense to you with the best possible strategy and pay the littlest amount of closing costs possible. Now, I've written a full article on this. I'd love you to read that below. And at the end, if you're interested in refinancing, you need to understand the 5 strategies that go into picking the right refinance loan. And you'll find a link to that ebook inside the article below. Hey, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to hear from you.